This is the insane efficiency of the system and the range. This is the exact kit you get. You get this transmitter, looks exactly like this. Has these impressive range capabilities. The DC power supply you get to run it is one of these, little variable type of deal. Goes up to 24 volts, and I'll be dropping a video soon showing the exact kit you guys get. And it's very portable, very fun, very modular. And you can also light this thing up extremely bright at distance, and this thing actually blew out. It was lit so bright, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But anyway, just absolutely incredible effects. So I will take one of my receivers. As you see, we have extreme radiant energy to the point where like it's blinding. You guys are getting like an almost perfected model. Crazy, isn't it? And you can run an unlimited amount of these lights with separate earth-ground connections. Even on the oven, look how bright that is. So, figure that out. I have a lot of people who doubt this technology and think I'm faking things. Well, there's been a lot of people who's bought the kit and told them otherwise. And there's been independent research labs around the world who's partnered with us that re-verified our technology. And I'm having a bit of trouble contacting it, but I believe if we do get good contact, it should get very bright. Basically any grounded wall outlet, it gets bright. Even on the heater. Very bright, because that's a good grounded heater. Even starts to activate just slightly getting close to the heater. Well, I wonder if it'll light on my wood stove. I can usually get it to light on the wood stove with the with the coil itself, an isolated coil. But yeah, no, it dimly lights. And if I had the coil and I could vary the inductance in the receiver coil, it would get to full intensity over at that wood stove. I've had distant receivers get so bright they blow out. So again, that's the kit you get. And you're probably wondering, well, you're running it at 40 volts and the DC supply only goes up to 25 volts. How do I know it can do those same effects? Well, it absolutely can do those same effects. Still pretty incredible range. And if you want to have the system run over 25 volts, you'd have to buy your own variable DC power supply. And if you experiment with that, you're running it at your own risk. It's not meant to run at more than 60 volts DC at the moment, at more than 500 milliamps. So you're messing with that at your own risk. Extreme radiant energy. Same effects on the oven. So that explains it, that shows it, that sums it up. And I have a lot of people asking me why this works, how it works. I explain it in my YouTube page's links. My YouTube page has the links to all the books and all the research of how this works. To sum it up, it is an open system. It's nonlinear. It uses oscillating magnetic fields, and then we convert the oscillating magnetic fields back to electrical flux. And oscillating magnetic fields are not subject to the laws of thermodynamics. Only low-frequency, closed electrical systems and physical mechanical systems are subject to the laws of thermodynamics. True magnetic flux energy is multiplicative in nature, as Don Smith states, and it's the key to growth of the universe. And like I said, we use nonlinear electrical components that don't obey Ohm's law. We use high-frequency radio components. We use germanium point contact transistors. We use negative resistance avalanche diodes. And the system is open because it's wireless power. And the Earth itself is part of the system. Now, if you wanted to get the range up to 2,000 feet, you would have to build a receiver coil almost identical to this, but minus the ball. For some reason, it won't work with the ball. I'm not entirely sure why that is. I won't pretend to have all the answers, but I do know this thing can do incredible effects. So if I ground this, as you see, there's activity here. If I ground this, the range will get much brighter now. So I can now take this, absolutely much brighter. This thing loves graphite. I could probably put this graphite antenna anywhere and it will light. Like, how crazy is that shit? Crazy, isn't it? It's just a piece of graphite. I also discovered from those old books certain materials, when in the field of influence of a Tesla coil, will absorb radiant energy and retransmit it. And some materials even emit tremendous amounts of radiant energy when stimulated. Look at those effects. This is real wireless power research, along with energy harvesting. I hope people really take this technology seriously and fund MTECH Industries. I hope you guys like, subscribe, and donate if you feel like it. Okay, it doesn't light up over there. We have to have some failures at some point. I actually enjoy failing because taking this technology slow and failing is what allows you to grow and figure out how it works. I've spent years on this stuff to get where it is. Absolutely loves graphite. And keep in mind, I'm doing all this. I'm running this exactly the way you would run it if you get the kit, the $350 kit. I'll disconnect this. Now I'm running it exactly the way you would get the kit. You get the kit includes 3 of these too, little lights to play with. You get the transmitter, the little supply to run it, and 3 of these. All kits are plug and play. They're ready to go. They have reverse polarity protection, meaning you can't hook it up backwards. You won't break anything. Nothing on that one. Oh, no, it lights. I think they're just painted and have a bit of trouble on the contact. So yeah, that shows that. And keep in mind this technology at its potential. And my room is so messy, I know. I've been up a lot building transmitter kits left and right. And when I get done, I pretty much just pass out in bed. We have this system shows 1-wire power transmission, wireless power, and if you do some things with a receiver, a close receiver, you can get the range up to 2,000 feet confirmed. I've had research partners witness that. I've had friends witness that. They've signed affidavits. It's undeniable. So, like I said, the reason it works, open system, nonlinear electrical components, high frequency, germanium point contact transistors, and negative resistance avalanche diodes. The personal model I use is more advanced than the transmitter kit model that I sell, but still, both models show amazing effects. The only difference with mine is my personal model is much more power efficient than the kit. But you gotta keep some things on the secret side when you deal with proprietary technology. And like I said, if you don't believe me or want to buy it, you guys are more than welcome to build it yourself. You can see exactly how it's constructed right here. It's exactly how it's constructed. This used to be a transmitter. L1, 1 inch long, 8 gauge. L2, 4 inches long, 26 gauge wire. L3, wound in the opposite direction to L1 and L2. This is 16 gauge wire. And, whoa. And, yeah, so what creates the insane wireless power effects, it comes from this L3 coil because it's reverse wound to L1 and L2. Somehow when you have bucking coils, it either rips open the dimension of counter space or it rips open 0-point energy, whatever you want to call it. But it creates the effects. They're real and they're amazing. Absolutely mind-bending. I don't know of anyone else's Tesla coil that can do that. I can take this extreme channel lights. They're just wireless antenna lights. I have insane range. Check this out. And if I touch it or ground it, they all light up, so figure that out. This device will allow you to create unlimited lighting. And if you're smart enough, well, not smart enough, dedicated enough, you can construct enough of these receivers, send the output to bridge rectifiers, and combine all the outputs, and you'll have all the energy you want. And that looks bad that that light is blown, but as you can see, there's power here. And this light got blown. Look how bright that is at this point, and I'm in danger of blowing this light by doing this. It might be the diode that blew. Highly sensitive RF diodes. 1N4148 RF version. And you don't need the RF version, it's just slightly more efficient. And the other cool thing too I wanted to show, I'm not even really sure if it'll show, I might have to turn the power up, but look how receptive graphite is to this energy. This just goes to my grounded heater. And you should see small sparks on the graphite. I'm not sure if we can capture that. I might have to turn the power up for that to show. So I'm going to turn the power up, because it definitely showed on my personal model. And as you see, we turn it up, the effects will greatly intensify. Hopefully you guys can see that. Should be filming this at night. You'll see very faint sparks from a ground wire and a piece of graphite. This video is kind of going on too long, but not even sure if any of that is showing. I'm going to shut my shade and try showing it. Shut this light off too. Make it a little darker, maybe it'll show. Oh yeah, you can see it now more clearly. See those faint sparks? That's the radiant energy effect. And you could literally have a ground connection far away and a graphite antenna, and you're good to go. There's definitely power there. A lot of it. I have to grab the receiver, which I'm holding. As you see, look at this. This thing will light just getting near the graphite. Wow. And I didn't even earth ground this thing. I'll grab my earth ground connection. Connect it to the light. Check this out. And I'm in danger of blowing this when I do that. That is bright. And people who wonder, I run this camera, there's no filters or anything on it. You're seeing things exactly as they are. No filters, no editing. In a few videos in the past, I may pause it, but that was when people were talking to me and I was doing a long video. I may pause the video and then resume it, but that happened once or twice in my entire compendium of videos. But all the videos, if not 90% of them, most of them, is just straight footage, no cuts, no edits. I wouldn't, because that arouses suspicion for things being fake. I'd never do something like that. I've dedicated years of my life to this research. And like I said, it was re-verified by other research groups who are partnered with us that built it. And it's just crazy shit. It's really fun, really cool. Stuff that science doesn't want you to know. They said wireless electricity would never really work, but they're completely wrong. It would work because the Earth becomes a giant wire with this system. And all you need is an antenna. So it absolutely would have worked. There's no doubt about it. They just want to tell you it wouldn't work, forget about it, don't even try and mess with the technology, don't even investigate it. That is the wrong attitude to have. There is no finality in growing science, and there are currently over, I believe it's 300 forms of energy discovered. And the laws of thermodynamics only apply to mechanical systems and closed electrical systems. The laws of thermodynamics do not apply to all forms of energy that exist in the universe. My point being dark energy, which isn't really dark energy, it's just oscillating magnetic flux, and the modern physicists who can't call it that, or they hate the term the aether, they just call it quantum foam, which is completely incorrect. Like seriously, look at this receiver. Completely wireless. I've had these babies arc out on me on high power. Like, you can clearly see a little bit of damage there. Like, that's a lot of heat damage. With just 30 watts input to my transmitter, I can get serious amounts of power. That's just a receiver with an earth connection. So yeah, this video is going on way too long. Anyway, I have all the links in my YouTube page's description. I sell these. This is the $350 model. And this is the $150 model. This guy has a range of about 150 feet with these lights and earth grounding. This guy has a range up to about 500, and if you construct one of these other receiver coils and ground it, it'll have a range up to 2,000 feet. So $150 plus shipping, $350 plus shipping. And I'm going to be constructing and building an even bigger model, working out the bugs, and that'll either be $500 or $750. And this thing will be probably 4 times the diameter of that, and be able to light up a fluorescent tube in an entire 20 foot by 20 foot room, which will be mental. I don't know if anyone's tested a coil that can do that. And it will be solid state, shoot off no sparks, and it will just be amazing. So thank you all. And if you want to fund this, feel free to. And this is real energy research. And like I said, I shut it off. All our transmitters go out. I mean, all our receiving lights go out. So again, thank you all who support MTECH and its partners. And you can clearly see the heat that caused. And there's heat in this receiver. Like, I can feel it. I gotta get a temperature gun. So anyway, thank you all, and stay creative.